That Portland backcourt of Damian Lillard, C.J. McCollum has been the story in the first half of the Portland Trailblazers, who have led by as many as 17. But a 13-2 run by the Celtics cut into that. It's 55-49 after 24 minutes out there at Moda Center in Portland. American Express halftime report from Studio J here in Atlanta. Ernie Johnson along with Charles Barkley, Kenny the Jet Smith, and Shaquille O'Neal, our American Express teammates, that Portland backcourt. Lillard and McCollum combining for 26 points in the first half. And 5 out of 11 for Dame Dalla and 4 out of 8 for McCollum. Before we get to your pictures on that backcourt, Shaq, Chuck, what is the one word that fits when you try to describe the Portland Trailblazers?
Inconsistent. They're not in the playoffs as we speak, and there's no reason for that. For Dame Lillard and C.J. McCollum to take this team and their game to the next level, they got to learn to make the players around them better. They're both terrific players, but that just makes you a good player. But to become a great player, you have to make the guys around you better. They're too good of a backcourt to be this inconsistent. They got to find a way to get their big guys involved. You know, they got a lot of good players, but they dominate the ball a little too much and don't get the big guys involved. That's the biggest weakness of this team.
Portland number 9 in the West right now, just a touch behind Denver in the standings. Tell me what you think of that backcourt.
The backcourt, they're playing well tonight, but I agree 100% totally with Chuck. They're very inconsistent. They don't do this every night. And also, Chuck, always defines the true definition of a great player, one that makes the players around them better. And it's a travesty that these guys are 23 and 30 because they do have a lot of talent on the team. But tonight, hey, they are holding on to the ball. They're making good plays. Dame Dalla's filling it behind the arc. We know he could do that every time. But, Chuck, you're right. You got to make players around you better. Right there, the drop pass was there, but he shot, it went in, they all won't go in. Right here, C.J. McCollum, has been working on his game. Definitely, a player that's not really talked about a lot, but he has the ability to score. But, Chuck, I agree with you. You can't do it by yourself. You definitely have to use the others. And I think if they do that, then maybe they could probably get that number 8 spot.
Lillard's 7th in the league in scoring. McCollum is number 14. As far as Boston goes, Isaiah Thomas said they got 100% punked last night in Sacramento. They lost to the Kings without DeMarcus Cousins. He said, you can't let that happen if you're going to be the team that you want to be. Tonight, a slow start, 1 for 5 for Thomas, but 14 points in the second quarter.
Well, his ability to kind of get into the lane at his size is probably, to me, what makes him dangerous, because you would think that he's going to just be a jump shooter. But when you step out, he drives by you, and he finishes just almost as good as John Wall and Russell Westbrook when he's in the paint. But I also want to kind of go back to what you had said about Portland. I don't think they have a lot of talent, honestly. I think that's
outside of the backcourt.
Yeah, I think that's the problem. I don't think they have guys who can space the floor and allow those guys to penetrate and pitch. So when they penetrate, they take tough shots because the defense gears in on them and can stay one-on-one, and they don't have to help off the wings. Where if you look at a Golden State, you look even at Oklahoma City, as we saw earlier, you look at Cleveland, when those guys drive and penetrate, you have space. They don't have the same space because they don't have the same shooters, to me, around them.
Chuck had that look on his face.
But there's a difference between, pitch out and draw and kick. You could draw the defensive big man and kick it to the big man.
You got Crab over there. You got Aminu, who's a good player.
You got great shooters, I'm saying. So they don't create space other than Crab, but they don't create space for driving lanes to me. So a lot of times when they penetrate and pitch, you get another guy who catches it and penetrate and pitch, throws it back to them, and they get the ball with 8-9 seconds on the shot clock, and they play one-on-one basketball, which isn't really that effective.
Yeah, but the one thing you have to understand as a great player, you can get your shot anytime. For you to take your team, your game to the next level, your job is to get those other guys' shots.
55-49, Portland with the lead over Boston.
Martin Luther Payne?
I guess that's the way he thought you said inconsistent.
Well, I said inconsistent, but listen, they call me Mr. Barkley at the bank, jackass.
Ooh, spicy.
Pissing me off.
Welcome to the American Express Halftime Report. American Express, the official credit card of the NBA.